What's good? What's up, everybody? You are again about to screw it up. Tuned in to Prime Media, where people recognize one man entertainment. And today we on the East Coast, so that's normal. But our guest is on the West Coast. We got Storm, aka Storm, in the building. Rapper, artist, musician from California. Storm, introduce yourself. He just dropped a new track too. We're gonna get into it. Storm, tell the people what's up. Where can they find you at?
What's up? It's your boy Storm, aka Storm, hip hop artist from LA. You can find all of my stuff on iTunes, Spotify, Tidal, everything like that. At Storm, aka Storm, all one word. Yeah, check me out.
Yes, sir. Listen, Storm, from what I understand, you've been making music since elementary school, right?
Word.
Writing, composing, all that stuff. As you grow older, right? You got people, everyone wants to try to do something, right? Whether you're an artist, whether you're a painter, whether you're a musician, and you've gone from different states and stuff. Starting at 10 to your evolution to where you are now, just dropping labels, your newest track out everywhere.
Yes, sir.
Can you talk about how like the confidence you had in yourself at a young age to start making music and putting it out there for people to either try and take you seriously and stuff?
Yeah. I mean, so, ever since I started listening to music and wanting to write music, I think it might have been my family that kind of put a lot of like confidence in me, you know what I'm saying? Like just seeing my family and just seeing them all do, kind of be leaders in everything they do and feel like we were all taught to be whoever we are, not to try to be anybody else. My mom always told me like, no one can be a better you. Like, so like growing up, I knew, what I'm saying, just being myself, I should never be ashamed of what I want to do, who I want to be. And, so writing was always a good outlet to like, just kind of like deal with whatever things I was thinking about at the time as a kid. And it was all, it was fun too. I really loved music and just listening to different artists. Yeah. So just performing and just doing all of that stuff was always kind of like second nature, I guess. Like, I never was afraid someone wouldn't like it. If they didn't like it, then that's you. You know what I'm saying? I know. I feel like
that's rare. That's something to develop. You had that.
Yeah, I feel it. I feel like, but I just think that's like an outside thing that people get where, I mean, I feel like we should all be that way where, you shouldn't be ashamed of what you want to do. Like, I feel like the world tells you, oh, you have to be, you have to be this to be successful, or you have to have this to do that. And now we've seen, say millions of people, or, at least 100,000 people, I feel like, that have made a career off of like, social media, or made a career off of gaming, or made a career off of stuff that we were told would never happen. Like you have to have a 9-to-5 job to even be successful. And people are making their own businesses, starting their own, you know what I'm saying? So
he's preaching now.
Definitely.
A 16-year-old in high school made $4 million off TikTok. What?
Yeah. That's what I'm saying, man. And it's like, there is no boundary to anything. The sky literally is the limit. Whatever you believe you can do, the only person that holds you back from that is yourself. You know what I'm saying? So never doubt yourself. There's always going to be doubt. There's always going to be thought like, can I attain this? Can I do this? Is it possible? And I've always throughout my career, I just I bring the question out, can I do this? And I'm like, all right, let me see if I can do it. And luckily, I guess, blessings to God, like luckily it's always happened and worked out. So
at a young age, and this is one thing I love to get insight on with everybody trying to develop and grow a business and stuff like that. And since you did it so young, were you getting a lot of chatter from people? Like, did you see a lot of, quote, I guess you can call it like fake chatter, where people would like start getting close to you because like they knew what you were trying to do, or people that pretended to like your stuff but never share it, never promote it, never do anything like that? Like, how would you kind of weave yourself through those people?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like you always will have people, no matter how long your career is or how high it gets, that will kind of jump on the bandwagon, or we'll just kind of, oh yeah, that's dope, and then like hit the like button and then unlike when you're gone. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure you'll always have something like that, but to weed through that, I mean, I feel like you can kind of feel when someone's like, I've been blessed to meet really good people as well, but I feel like you can kind of feel when someone's just there to like to just be, there to ride the wave with you. I feel like you can, most of the time you could tell. I know that there's, stories where you think someone's your best friend and, they backstab you out of nowhere. But
Right.
I feel like for me, it's always, I can catch vibes off of people. I could tell if they're really serious about something or if they're not. And I don't know if that's, I mean, growing up, moving state to state, you know what I'm saying? I had to learn, like, I had to make friends with people kind of quickly and understand people kind of quickly too, to know if they had, good intentions or not. And then I feel like being out in LA, it just enhanced that more. Everybody's all, they're name droppers, or they got this, or I can get this going here tomorrow. And, I never really believe it until, I'm at the show and,
You got
I'm
what
there
you
and those
want.
people are actually there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you bounce
Yeah.
around from, like, you kind of hinted to it. You move from state to state. You did that for your music career?
No. So growing up, so my stepdad was in the military. I grew up single mom, and that's where all the music kind of came into a whole thing. And I started writing and different things like that. And then, my mom got married to my stepfather, and there, like, he instilled a lot of military stuff into me, and then we moved around in different states and stuff like that. So, but throughout moving and doing different things like that, I learned from other people, learned different, just like different styles of writing and stuff like that from other artists, and just communities that I, learned what people liked out in, like, out here in the West, and then, in the Midwest, the South. I was in Florida for a bit, so just kind of like learning different things like that. And then and then coming out here just kind of changed everything and enhanced me all the way. So
When it comes to living in those different areas, did any specific area give you different insight on how to write different verses of music, or different music, like, songs? There we go. I don't know why I kept saying music, like different songs and stuff that
yeah,
you've written.
yes. So I mean, you could tell from different regions like what type of, swing that they have in certain things.
Yeah.
Like I mean, when you look at hip hop now, it's kind of hard to tell because of how worldwide our music is and how attainable it is. You can catch music from different people. But in the beginning, like, kind of at the start, like, feel like a lot of my speed rap came from the Midwest. So when I was in Ohio, like, Bone Thugs was someone who was, like, probably the
Right.
biggest artist group out of Ohio. And so I had been there for a good amount of time, and so learning that speed rap, learning that, like, cadence, and just learning their style. When I was in Arizona, I learned a little more of, like, it wasn't Hispanic, but, like, some of that Hispanic vibe adding on to songs. And then in Florida, their type of vibe. And then now in Cali, the kind of like the low rider, like, vibe, and, like, Snoop vibe and stuff like that. And just kind of learning different stuff like that. But yeah, Midwest, I feel like had a good, like, I guess, gave me a great direction
Right.
on how to create songs. And then when I came out here into California, it kind of helped me fine tune making actual songs and hooks, and then
Yeah.
figuring out, when to bring bridges into, like, rap and stuff. A lot of people think that, like, rap is just kind of like, you just kind of say words, and, like, a lot of, like, even your freestyle people who are freestylers, they know
What they're
when to add certain, like, change up the cadence, or to add a bridge into their, like, to their freestyle, or, like, I think the only thing that doesn't really have, I mean, no, even battle rap, there's certain ways that you don't just, like, there's certain times you stop, and there's
Yeah.
certain times when to, like, say a certain thing, and, like, how to, like, so
Delivery, the
it's
setup, all that. Yeah. That's
yeah,
a
yeah.
good analogy. My bad, I didn't mean to cut you off either.
No, you're good. No, you're right. You're right. So yeah, man. It's just, I'm learning all of that stuff throughout. So
Yeah.
it's been a good journey.
So when it comes to, like, you bouncing around, and we already talked about how you had, like, a confidence level, and you see this a lot with a lot of people who are scared to kind of step out their zone. Not saying you're not, but because you're doing it. Where do you find that drive once you find a new area to kind of keep your passion going? Because, like, I feel like once you leave to, like, another state, you're kind of like alone all over again. It's like, all right, a restart. Got to find a place to live, move in, get back to my thing. I'm in a new area. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
what's that mindset that you have that focus you to keep going in every new position you're in?
Man, so I mean, it's really like, I think for me, it's just always been like, what, I when I get somewhere, it's kind of like, okay, what am I trying to accomplish? I feel like the main goal should never change, no matter where you're going.
Yeah, fact.
But you do have to try to like reroute or figure out how to ride the wave or go through your journey in a new place. The only thing I can get with music, coming when I first came out to LA, I only knew like two people, and like I was like, man, okay, so I want to be a musician. Like, what's the first start? I need to look for some shows. I need to figure out what areas are good to have shows. What venues are more hip hop driven. You just kind of like, look through that. There's like, I mean, the only thing I could say is that there's probably like magazines or articles or different places that, look up artists that you loved, or look up people that you admire, and they
Right.
say, oh, this person performed here, this person did that. And then just going out and just meeting people, man. That's like I said, the only thing I know from that is just me my dad being in the military. I just had to like be, personable,
Right. You had a
and just
network.
learn to talk to people, or you know what I'm saying? And I'm always that person that like, I want everyone to be included. Anytime I see like someone who's kind of, timid and shy, and not to like put them in the spotlight, but I always like try to come over and see how they're doing and like talk to them, because, you never know how someone else, maybe someone else is like, man, I wish someone would talk to me. And it's like, bro, like, that's the type of person I am. Like, and I don't want to try to keep myself away from people. If you don't want to get to talk to me, that's fine. That's fine too. Like, I'm not gonna try. But
But
you
you
just
have that
gotta,
open energy.
like you said, jump out.
You have
What's
the
up?
I said you have the open energy, like that good energy, the positive vibes you're trying to bring and stuff. Everyone just
Exactly.
tuning in on the IG live. We're talking with Storm, aka Storm, right now. You can find his music everywhere. We have him tagged in here, not tagged. We have him on the thing. Follow his page. Follow his music everywhere. Back to you, Storm. My bad. I just want to make sure the people in here watching knew what we was talking to.
No, you're good. You're good. Yes, no, hell yeah. Yeah, man, it's just it's you just gotta be open to meeting new people. For anybody out there that's thinking about moving to a new place, and is just afraid of meeting someone, you're gonna meet people. You're gonna meet good people, and you're gonna meet people who will vibe with you. um, I'm not gonna lie, you might find some people that, at the beginning, that are just out here, like coming out to LA. You might find people who are just out here to party, and
Right.
like, but you have to then figure out, okay, I did the little partying, trying to meet people. Then you have to realize, okay, what is my goal? You need to like always remember what your main goal was, and always keep that like on a thing.
The end game, exactly. Have that clear out
Exactly.
path. Have that clear path.
Exactly.
What would be your end game, Storm? Obviously you're a musician, but like, what's Storm's end game as a musician?
My end game, man, at the end of it all, I want to be, even if I never won an award, I at least want to be Grammy nominated, and I want to be able to have a music school for those who
Hey,
are trying to get, whether it's rap, whether it's R&B, pop. I think we need more like music institutions out there in the community. I feel like there's, people think, oh, it's just LA, oh, it's just New York, oh, it's just Atlanta, now is another place. I feel like each state has people that like are trying to be big, and yeah, the internet is there to help you out, but I feel like all of those people just kind of like luckily threw things together. And I mean, yes, you learn and stuff like that, but
right.
having someone else that could be in your corner, like a good mentor around America, let alone the globe, would be something I feel like we need. Music, heals people. Music like drives us in the right direction. I feel like we need more of that. So
Oh yeah, music's a big part of people's life. I listen to music through workouts, through driving in a car, through when you sad, all that stuff. Besides your
mm-hmm.
mom, so that you talked about her a little bit. Between moving, did you have like a mentor that was like always around with you, or was moving around kind of hard to keep on?
um no, I mean, yeah, the only, music was kind of my thing. Like, that's what I would listen to Tupac, I'd listen to Biggie, like, all throughout moving as a young kid. And then when I moved to like Ohio, in like sixth grade, seventh grade, I was listening to 50, I was listening to Kanye. Music was like, those were my dudes that like I learned, just learned different things about dealing with like hardships, and just learned how to like, I don't know, just how to like be a better person. College Dropout is probably one of my favorite albums I've ever listened to.
I think
And it really gave me insight. Yeah, it really gave me insight about like just about schooling, and just about like being who you are, and the fact that like sometimes systems are set up not really the right way, and education is great, always get an education, but if you know what I'm saying, I feel like we've learned that that's not the only path. But like I've said, a lot of times the world has said, if you don't have a degree, you're gonna be, whatever, like on the street. And like that's not the case. Like if that's not for you, go to trade school if you're trying to, learn, some sort of hardware like study or something like that. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't have to just be that. But
yeah.
That's probably where I learned like a lot of different those were like my mentors during like growing up.
And one huge thing I want to talk about too, we're gonna guess we can get to this early, your new project labels. I'm still
Yes.
debating what my favorite song is. I'm debating between Homies or Mealy Trap right now.
Yeah.
That one was fire.
Yes, I
Like
appreciate that a lot.
that one was unbelievable. Where did I like always like getting the insight on artists when it comes to making their track or their tracks. Yeah, like what was your inspiration behind some of these songs? So we could talk about Homies and Waves and Mealy and stuff like
Yeah.
those three. Like
So when I first came up, even with the album, I already knew like, excuse me, what I was trying to talk about. Like I wanted to have a full concept. I love like tracks usually bring out what they're trying to say, but I still want to have like an outline of what I'm actually what my voice is supposed to be.
right.
So behind the tracks, I had an idea. I had an idea of what I wanted to like different points of like what I wanted to bring up. Like, I'll put words at like things in my brain. Like I had like, I think pain I had down there. And I had like struggle, and then I had words like encouragement, just different things of like vibes that I wanted out of the songs. And then when I went with the producer, we went in and we just kind of like, I was like, hey, I'm feeling this type of way. Let's see what we can bring out. Let's start with a piano, or let's start with some percussion, and then we start from there and just build up. And so Homies was a track that I really wanted like a track of like encouragement and like inclusion, but also like longing. So the whole track itself is about, missing out on all our friends, and like, whether they're locked up, whether they're, overseas, or whether they're like even like sick in the hospital, what I'm saying, whatever, or if you haven't just seen them in so long. Like the whole point was to bring, have people come back together and bring that like brotherly love back with your people, and like to celebrate that, you know what I'm saying? So when we started making the track, I loved the way it was, and I started just kind of feeling that vibe, and then the whole, I just kind of wrote it out, and
I felt
it
it.
came
I
together.
felt it. And like I said, bro, in that song, and Mealy Rap, the cadence was
Yes.
that cadence.
Yes, dude.
I was like, oh, he's flowing. Like
I appreciate that a lot, bro. Yeah.
it's a natural.
That one was a dope track. Yeah, my so the producer had sent it to me. And I was looking for something very much of a kind of like a fuck the doubters type thing. Like, I'm about to get this by any means, you know what I'm saying? Like this is what I'm going for. So yeah, when I heard that track, I was like, bro, I have to get on this. And so he's like, yeah, dude, kill it. And so
Right.
I wrote to it, and yeah, so that was one of the only tracks. I think only like 2 tracks off the album were already made tracks that I then jumped onto, and then brought the vibe out of that. I really do like to create music from the ground up, but
okay,
sometimes if you hear a track, you know what I'm saying, if you hear a track and it's hard, like you got, you know what I'm saying, you got to go for it. So,
yeah, right. So is that a thing artists do? They have, I assume they would do it for most of them. I'm not saying it's just you or you do this or try to put anything on you. You would have like a song, and then, or you might make a project but not release until a certain time. So I remember Jordan Lucas, when he made the song Will, he had that song for the past 2 years. I think he was working on it for 2 years and decided when it was
Right.
to release it. Is that something you guys do
Mhm.
as artists? Have something, don't even mention what you're working on, and put it out when you think it's right?
Yes, yes, a lot of times, because I mean, part of it is that's a two-part like kind of answer, because sometimes it's, whether you're assigned to a label, sometimes there are tracks that they're like, hey, this just doesn't fit like dang, Drake's album that he dropped before, um oh my gosh, before Nightmares 2, there was another one where he kind of dropped like tracks that were from previous albums that didn't fit, like that didn't actually drop on those albums.
Mhm.
Um Care Package. Care Package, that's what it was.
Okay.
That Drake Care Package album. So on that, there were like 4 tracks, I think, that came from different albums that the label just didn't want to release. They felt like it didn't work. But he, after that, after he like, had all of those, he's like, fuck it, I want to put another project out and just make that one whole project. There are a lot. I have a couple tracks right now that like I still am holding on to for the right time. And I think the second part is that depending on, he had this song, I guess the Will Smith song for a while, like he wanted to wait till he had enough, like a large enough audience for that to make sense.
Yeah.
If he had dropped it kind of when he started, it might not have gotten the traction that it did to get to Will.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that might have also been part of it. But I definitely know, there are times when I feel like you make a track, and I don't know if there's a time limit on how long, you know what I'm saying, until it's old, until it's considered an old song.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure a lot of people, have had tracks for probably almost 5 years, and then when they finally dropped it, we thought it was a new song, and they had been sitting on that for a while. So,
Wow, that's crazy. That's
yeah.
decent to know, because I figured that when I heard that. I was like, all right, could make sense. It does make sense. I don't know if they all do it. Now, you as an artist, how do you find yourself getting into more exposure, essentially, man? Like, do you have a manager that does that, or do you get yourself in the clubs, get yourself on the radios and stuff like that? How do you, for all the other up and coming artists watching, could take advantage of that?
Yes. So I would say it is a good thing to try to find a manager. Look up management and find them. I have a manager right now. A manager is supposed to be someone who, goes out of their way to contact people for you. You can contact people, but it just looks more professional if you have a manager reach out. You should never be paying a manager up front. They always get paid after you've gotten paid. So if anyone says, oh yeah, pay me like $200 a month or something like that to be your manager, that's not the way to go. They should be taking a percentage out of what you get, out of what you earn from either deals or from like publications or whatever else. I've recently got with a publicist. That's another thing. If you can swing it, try to do that as well. Just to help get your name out, help to get you interviews, help to get you radio play and stuff like that. You can hit up, a lot of places don't take unsolicited mail and unsolicited like tracks. So the whole days of like sending in demos to labels and stuff like that is kind of over. You have to either find an A&R. Definitely look if they have A&R showcases. That's a really good thing to get your name out there and to find other people who are in the industry. They may not be like super high, but you can definitely get in touch with some pretty good people going to A&R showcases. And it's all, you also don't have to have a full project to do that. To do a showcase, most of the time they want like two or three songs to figure out what your vibe is, and to see if you can perform, to see if you can create a song, to see what you're, what I'm saying, to evaluate you without having to see a whole album or listen to a whole thing. But yeah, I would say those would be the first 2 steps, really finding a manager. And if you can find a publication publicist. Promotion from like, if you can get promotion on Instagram and YouTube and stuff like that, that's great too. But I think, it's nice to have the views and to have the likes and subscribers, but also I feel like it just looks in a better light when you have someone representing you and who's like, yeah, this kid actually does have, like, what I'm saying, who's actually like, I hear this kid, I see this kid, and he's definitely someone you need to pick up.
Yeah. How do you guys know, or is it just your man? Would this be on your manager to like know who's like a snake, like what companies or people or sharking you guys or like snaking you guys within the industry? You know what I'm saying? I'm sure you probably get a lot of that, or they're just trying to get money out of you and stuff. Like, how do you guys avoid and process that information?
I mean, a lot of that is just it's like taking a chance, man. It's a
Yeah.
risk sometimes. You find out and you're like, okay. I mean, but that's what you have to, you find someone who as your manager has your back, even, if you find your parents, like a lot of parents have been managers and have been good. And they can tell with you, like you try something out. And if it's like, hey, we're not really getting anything out of this, maybe this isn't a good look for us,
Mhm.
you just evaluate it after a little bit, a lot of times it's hard to tell whether it's going to happen in a time frame, but I feel like you just have to trust your gut. I feel like a lot of times your gut will tell you if this makes sense or not,
Yeah.
you know.
Do you have any not experience, any advice to people who are trying to for example, you talked about manager, if they say I want to charge you $200 a month, don't do that. They get a percentage of stuff like that. Do you have any advice of like companies or like sites that people can go on, like artists can go on to finding a manager that you would recommend?
Yes, yes, there's a really good site, Music X-Ray, for those who, if you have a lot of music on SoundCloud, this is actually pretty perfect for you. Music X-Ray is a site that is set aside for independent artists that is there to help you find literally almost anything you're looking for, whether it's management, promotion, A&Rs, labels, licensing, all of that. It'll help you find it there. Just make sure you're signed with either like I forget what it's called. It's a legal company like BMI or ASCAP and make sure you have all of your stuff copywritten before you get into any of that stuff, because you never really know, because a lot of times like they'll take your SoundCloud link and they can listen to it, but if they find the vibe and they think the song is great, they can have someone else just replicate that track and not need you. So
Yeah.
make sure you have everything copywritten. But that site is a known site to weed out fakes. Like,
Yeah.
what I'm saying? So that fake accounts and fake people can't steal your money.
Right.
No one should you should never give money to anyone up front on that site either. They'll ask for like a $10 fee to like send your track to them to like listen to it. But other than that, it shouldn't be anything like drastic. Like,
Drastic.
you've probably spent over $10 just recording the track itself.
Right.
So you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
that
yeah, yeah.
shouldn't be like a big deal.
Right.
But yeah, I think that's a great site to look for if you're looking for management and different. And there's also kind of just researching, like looking, Googling people that you like, Googling the artists you like, and
Yeah.
finding who their manager is, and possibly you can you can email them. But I know that major labels and stuff, they won't take emails. But yeah, definitely, if you find
Yeah.
if you find a manager of someone you really like and you think they might sign you, email them too.
And now back to you personally, because Storm is established. He's got a manager. He's out everywhere. You can find his music everywhere. What are some? I want to get into your stories about any performances you might have. What are some like crazy memories you have? You've been doing this for a long time, my God.
Yeah,
What are some
man.
like top stories you want to share with the people that like you remember from your day?
Man, ah, man. Okay, so one of my personal favorite shows I had done in LA. It was at a club. It was at a bar that I walked in, and they were already doing a showcase that day. So I walked in. I was talking. I found the PR lady. I was like, hey, or oh my gosh, the promo lady, and I was like, hey, how do I get a part of a show like this? She's like, oh yeah, just email me some of your stuff, and I'll check it out. So I emailed her the next day. She's like, okay, I'll set you up for a show. I go to the show. We had to have at least 30 people. I had 50 people show up, right? Just out of just like getting it from there. She comes to me that day and she's like, this is amazing. Like you were great. You brought everyone that was here. You were one of the best people that brought everyone out of here. The show was crazy. All my friends were there. It was one of the best nights of my life. I think another really dope show that I did was opening up for B.O.B.
Oh,
I
really?
came in. Yeah, it was at a Viper Room. in LA. So I was like the fourth act that before him, before he came on.
Right.
So I saw the bus. I got to meet him for a second because he was doing his whole thing with his fans and stuff like that. And then they had a roped off area in front of the stage where they had a VIP section for his fans that paid to be, you know what I'm saying, to be there. So they would be up front. I'm doing the show for them. I have my dancers, I have my drummer. We're having a great time. And a lot of the kids that were there were like, bro, I love you. Like, where can I find your stuff? Getting my phone number, getting my Instagram, like pictures and stuff like that, buying merch and stuff there. So that was a really dope show as well. And man, I'm trying to think of another great show. Oh, I had done like, I'll group it all into one. I did a high school tour in Southern California. That was really cool. Went to a bunch of different high schools, just arriving at the high schools and, you know, all of them having signs up and like my poster and like running up to me. Oh my God, would you sign my poster? Like, I'm so excited to see you. Even before anything happened. And then like, there was a school, Foothill Tech, that was in California. You know, they had listened to my tracks before I'd even gotten there. And one of my last tracks, they were reciting the whole hook without me even having to like say anything. So that was super dope. And I just let them take it over, and it was a dope time. It was a good time.
That must be wild. They recited your own hook.
Yes, and they were just doing the whole hook, and I was like, and I just sat back and just let them do it as it was going. So,
well, that must be so weird. How does that feel, like knowing that since you were 10, you wanted to do this, you started writing, and you just see it, the slow progression, man, and you're not even where you want to be at yet. You know,
exactly.
It's no small wins.
It's meant, so it's just like, I mean, I take a lot of different, like I said, a lot of the mentors, the people I listen to. Nipsey was definitely one of the people that, you know, always encouraged me to like just keep going. He said the only reason some of his homies didn't make it is because they quit. You know what I'm saying? And like, you know, he had the drive, and just seeing that and feeling that from other people, knowing that, you know, your music, people vibe with your music, and knowing that, you know, it's gonna take time. Like, it takes time. It's hard to be patient. Like, for real, it's really hard to be patient. But I know that I'm gonna get there.
Consistency. What is one thing you want people to take away from when they hear Storm's music?
I want them to take away. I want them to hear the story. I want them to hear the lyrics and the story that I have in each of my tracks, because, you know, I'm trying to like say to you that like what you're doing and what you want to do, you can do. Don't let anyone. I've heard it 80 million times. I've doubted myself and still come out on top. Like, whatever it is you feel like you want to do, like, reach for that, and like, don't let anyone else tell you can't do it. You're the only one who can stop you from being what you want to be.
Right. Oh, that's dope. That's real. And that's one thing I like about your music is you can tell you're not an artist, whether even if you wanted to start and you're already where you're at, that kind of follow waves. You make your music to what's real to you. I've listened to several people that either sent me stuff or, you know, SoundCloud rappers or people you went to high school with, and they try to follow a certain sound that they're hearing that's hot now, and they have no versatility in the arsenal. You know what I'm saying? I hear you
Right.
have different cadences you can just rattle off. And from like you
Right.
studying these guys, Bug Stones and Harmony, Tupac, Biggie, and stuff like that. That's wild. How do you know what type of cadences to put on the same project?
I mean, a lot of it. So, I mean, I definitely am someone who's, yeah, I'm inspired by a lot of people. Like, and I get what you're saying, where like people just kind of copyright and they keep doing the same thing. I definitely take the inspirations from people and figure out, okay, like what would sound good on this track, and I just kind of think of what type of vibe I get, and like who, you know, I think of what artists I think would sound good on that, and then I make it my own. And I'm like, oh man, like, you know, it'd be dope if this person was on it, and then I do my own take on it, and like try to keep it still as me as an artist, but I definitely am inspired by, you know, whether it's Drake or Big Sean or J. Cole or even Kendrick, like just kind of being inspired by that, and then having that help me in a direction.
Listen, man, I believe in manifestation. I believe this is key. We're gonna see what your answers right on the spot. Do you see yourself performing with these guys one day?
Yes. Yes, absolutely, bro.
No hesitation.
I'm just waiting for that day.
I love that energy.
Yeah.
I love that
Yes.
energy.
I ask every day, I'm like, bro, I know I can be And that's the other thing too, is that it's not that I think, man, one day I'm like, I know I can be, just give me that shot. Just give me that chance. I swear, I'll show you. It's done.
Ooh, I love that. I love that because you didn't hesitate. It's not like you gave it a second to act like that question came in late. No, you were there. The period came. Like as the period came, you were there. Yes, like it's gonna happen.
Yes.
That's what we like to
Bro.
hear. Bro, you are very talented, my guy. I mean that.
I appreciate that.
I'm so glad Fago put us together. Well, send me your stuff because bro, I'm happy to see where you go. You got a follower in me now forever. You know what I'm saying? You can hop off.
Thank you. I appreciate that a lot. I appreciate that a lot.
Don't follow me and never message me again. I'm like, I'm still following this.
No, bro, definitely. I will be messaging you.
Listen, Storm, I hope we can have you on again. Let the people know again where they can find your stuff, his new project labels. If you're on the gram right now, new labels out everywhere. Storm, let the people know what they can expect from you this summer, upcoming months. All you.
Yes, sir. Thank you guys so much for being here. It's your boy Storm, aka Storm. You can find me on iTunes, Spotify, Tidal, everywhere at Storm, aka Storm. Probably getting a new tour going on. I got some songs on the radio, so please be on the lookout. And another album coming out. I'm doing a dual album, R&B/rap. So we'll see. I'm very excited about that one. I have a lot of R&B artists that are ready to jump on board. So yes, sir. And thank you for having me, man. Anytime, please. I would love to come back again.
Oh, awesome. We're going to have you back again. I'm going to say that right now. It's going to happen. We're going to have you back.
Oh, yeah.
I'm also a fan of R&B. I'm all throwback R&B from Boyz II Men, Jagged Edge, to Usher, to the Neo.
Yeah.
Woo, just...
Yes, that's a whole vibe, bro. For real.
I could leave. People will hear my playlist sometimes and be like, "Are you in your bag?" I'm like, "No," but like I'll have End of the Road playing, just playing, like just to play because I just love the sound.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Hell yeah. Yes, hell yeah.
But be sure you follow Storm. Once again, this is Alex. You're tuned in with Prime Media, where people recognize one man entertainment. Be sure to give Storm a follow. Hit him up if you're an aspiring artist. We had a lot of you guys on. Hit him up. Pick his brain. Storm, can the people hit you up if they have any questions?
Yes, please. Yes, please.
I like how I just asked the question. I like how I told people to do it, then asked the question if it was okay after I do it. But yeah, be sure to like and hit that subscribe button and check out Storm.